Hey guys, Phil Sherman here once again from Studio 44, bringing you another Stadium Extravaganza video. I have a bunch of stadiums to show you today, from new creators, legends, all-stars, familiar faces, whatever you want to call them. So we've got some good stuff in store for you today, but I do have to get a few things out of the way first. Thank you, first of all, for getting me over 800 subscribers, 806 as of recording this video. I never thought it would get this big, as little as this big is. I never thought it would get here, but thank you guys so much. I would love to hit that 1,000 mark. So if you have been watching the channel for a while and have yet to subscribe, please do so now. I would really appreciate it. Every subscription helps. Every like of these videos helps. Takes a second to hit those clicks, and I'm not asking you to like the videos if you don't like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. If you like it, though, like it. I also want to thank Gaming Kitchen for getting the video seen by someone from San Diego Studios. SDS Joe K said that he is watching the video. Thanks to Gaming Kitchen posting a link to the video right on the SDS forums. Gaming Kitchen created that awesome thread right in the community forums for all the official bugs that needed to be reported to San Diego Studios, so we can help get this tool back on track for the new version of the game. I never thought in a million years it would actually reach San Diego Studios. I was hoping that a bunch of you guys would share the link to a ticket that is reporting bugs and problems right in the spot where I linked for you guys to go. But Gaming Kitchen threw one link right in the forum, and it hit SDS Studio. So I hope they did watch it. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and hopefully, a couple of guys in there that are working on Stadium Creator did see it and see that we're small. We're a small group of players whose main focus is Stadium Creator. And I know it's not their biggest ticket. It's not their moneymaker. It's not the core focus of MLB The Show, but it's a tool that could really be amazing if they just made a couple of teeny tiny minor little changes and kept updating it year after year after year. I can't imagine having a game where you just left any mode untouched from one game to the next. Seems to me you got to keep growing, keep getting bigger, keep getting, more advanced and more technical. And hopefully, as the technology improves and we move up to new consoles, maybe we can get things like retractable roofs and domes as a templates. Hopefully we can get bullpens off the field and, put scoreboards and laser ribbons right in the home run fence. But for now, I'll be just happy enough if they can fix some of the things that have been plaguing this mode for years. Then SDS, it would really help hold us over for some of the bigger changes if we got some fun new props to work with. Give us some numbers. Give us a retired number prop. Give us beams and pillars and smaller seating sections, new fountains, new statues, new clubhouse seating, new luxury seating, anything that we could use to help give our stadiums fresh new looks until some of those bigger and badder problems are addressed in future versions of the game, could make this game so much more fun to play and help hold us over until, again, we see some of those bigger things. But again, I want to thank you guys for taking the time, SDS, for taking a look at that video. I hope you took it seriously. I hope I was helpful. I'm not going to lie. Since I found out that someone did watch it, I've been low-key checking my email, looking to see if anyone wanted to consult with me on changes for the tool in the future, but because I know they've reached out to YouTubers before, so I'm available if you need consulting, or if you need someone to if you need a player, an outside view with things, different set of eyes, hit me up. There's my email address right there. But, yeah, thank you again for watching, SDS Joe K. And, again, thank you, Gaming Kitchen, for supporting the video, throwing it up there. And thank you for everybody who's made comments on the video, supporting that video, saying, that they agreed with me. And thank you for sharing what you want shown in the game, your ideas, your tips, all that stuff The more we flood them with stuff, the more they can't ignore us, and the more likely I think we are to get what we want. So thanks again for everything. I'm done babbling. Let's take a look at some amazing new stadiums here in MLB The Show 25. A Sanders 91 is going to start us off tonight. We have Sacramento's A's ballpark. It's in Sacramento, California. Has an altitude of 43 feet. It'll be ready in 2028. He says that he didn't care for the new small park that the A's are playing on the game right now, so he wanted to build one for them to play in until they have a real stadium. But I mentioned in the last video that I thought he was new to the channel, but again, looking back at that new catalog of stadiums I've showcased right here in Studio 44, I found out that he did submit one way back when, and it's great to have him back. It's great to see him in live chats and premieres and all that stuff. So let's take a look at right field. I love the multi-layered luxury seating on a tier as opposed to stacked on top of each other. That's pretty cool. That makes a fun target if you can get one up here. How deep are we talking down the line? 324. So, yeah, 354 right here. You might be able to get up here. And this is one of the things I was talking about in that last video. These quirky areas make it really tough to get props sucking right up against the wall. The bullpens create that weird curve, so it would be nice to get rid of that. And then not only is the curve ugly, but, I mean, it makes it impossible for you to get props sucked right up. So hopefully that's one of the things that can be addressed sooner rather than later. It would be nice to get props, right up against every part of the home run fence that we can. But going back to the stadium, he's got a custom bullpen over here with some batting cages and, the batting practice cage. He's got retired A's numbers up here, right? Yeah, these are A's, except for 42. Obviously, he's Jackie. Flags, parking garage, excellent. Now, is this a version of that field just made bigger, or is this a completely new design? I see he does have 3 decks of seating around and behind, but this looks like it could be familiar. I've peeked at that stadium a little bit. I haven't gone in the actual game yet, but this all looks great. A nice little row of luxury seating along the home run fence with the brush underneath. Looks great. Cleveland Guardians scoreboard on top. Hey, Sanders, I think we have more in the queue from you. This, again, looks like it could be a real stadium. I can see myself waiting in line to get in this gate, coming in from across the street. They probably got the street closed off on game days. Across the street is that little courtyard. What is this building? Outlet Mall. I never remember that. And you got the steakhouse across the street, and there's the convention center. Very nice indeed. Very clean. Very realistic. Looks great with the lights on. And right off the bat, we have a thumbnailable stadium, which pretty much means it automatically gets a stamp. Great job, A. Sanders, 91. Cost Canoe Stadium is up next. It's located in ABC XYZ, has an altitude of 100 feet, built in 2025. Comes to us from our very good buddy, Schmitty VG. He says the only thing in the notes he has is that it's a good Costco stadium. So let's take a look. Right field, right off the bat. This is catching my eye. I love the standalone. Is this an upper deck? No, this is plaza level, right? I like that guy just sitting there by himself, kind of lingering over the field level seating, which is also the plaza level, but the bottom part is hidden. Looks great. Sucked right up against the home run fence there with some bushes in between. Then you got a little custom bullpen in here with a little gate to get you in and out. Nice. What is he using? Hay for the mound? Oh, no, he's using the top of a tiki hut. Schmitty. It's my dude. And there it is. Cost canoe. There's a canoe sale, $399. So that means we have canoes. Fantastic. There he is. YouTube Schmitty B Gaming. That's right. You can probably check him out creating these stadiums right before your eyes. Stadium of the Year champs. That's fantastic. 23 did in fact go to Murph075, and Sandman Dan took down last year's contest. I love it. Nice work, Schmitty. And he's got the crown above it. There you go. Excellent. Pretty standard around and behind until you get to the convention center behind home plate. Kind of a creative broadcaster's booth and official scores and all that stuff. Very quirky dimensions. I love the funky little cut in sharp angled seating with luxury box and then marble on top. Marble, right? Yeah, marble. Okay. And then he's got some seating built into the building behind here. Outstanding. The big old Cost canoe. Got the helipad. You can land right into the stadium. If anybody has a serious injury, maybe they take a line drive to their face. You can take them right out to the helipad there. There's the old Sandcrawler apartment building. Flip that light switch again. Excellent view, excellent stadium. Let's go ahead and throw a stamp at it. Schmitty. Well, his name came up, so we might as well check out his third build of 2025. This is Murph075 with Wilmer Park. It's in That Place, USA, max altitude, built in 2025. He said there's no theme to this stadium necessarily, just thought of it while playing Diamond Dynasty and decided to upload. Oh my gosh, look at that frickin' custom brick structure in right field. That whole thing looks amazing. Trimmed with hedges or grass or greenery, whatever the heck you want to call it, and then bushes in there and multiple little levels of bushes. Outstanding. Chicken kebabs built right into it. And of course over here the seating sections with a little window where you got the TVs in there showing you the broadcast of the game. Excellent. Windows in the walls, not connected. There's a space between each window. I guess it has something to do with this little spot sticking out. This is what Sewell always attributes this problem to. But as you can see, it does hang over a little bit, and then there's a gap between the frame of the window and the actual home run fence. So SDS, if that's something you think can fix this problem, there's a little kiosk under here with some standing room only folks watching through those separated windows. I like how he uses the show barricade to cover the ice cream sign. Fantastic. Hot dogs and nachos underneath. Pretty standard around and behind with a double deck. Threw some concessions in there. And left field, you got a couple bleacher sections. Again, bushes in front of those seating sections between the seats and the home run fence. So you're going to be hitting them into bushes. You're going to be hitting into bleachers. You're going to be hitting them into the second row of bleachers. Can you make that top deck? 300 feet. So that can't be too far. Nice work. Gorgeous. An excellent little deck with standing room only, folks. More concessions with the bleachers built on top of that. That's another thing I like to see is different bleachers. Fancier, newer, just the metal like you would see at Yankee Stadium or left field in Cleveland. Instead of these nasty brown ones or the ones with the chain around them. I mean, I guess the seats themselves in this one are pretty close to what we're looking for. And I like that size of seating section, but maybe without the chain link fence around it. And then this one's not bad either. I like the size of it, but I don't like the wood base and the fact that there's black around it, or black on the seating part itself. Right? It's hard to see that black. There we go. It was in the shade. I don't know. And again, the green base, the green little beams underneath, I'm not crazy about either. Use the Detroit Tigers batter's eye at an angle instead of hugging right up against the home run fence. Pretty cool. Multi-layered deck back there. Again, using the show as an entrance into the stadium, or this building back here. Excellent. Parking garage in the back helps give the stadium that dug in the ground look. Murph has done it once again, folks. I'm sure we're all surprised that Murph has earned another stamp here in Studio 44. Nice job, man. Beautiful stadium. Okay, the first thing that the creator of the stadium wanted to make clear is that canoes were harmed to make this stadium. I'm guessing that means you all know who is responsible for this stadium. PFK Nunn, disguising himself as PFK Nil, gives us Crystal Lake Field. It's in Colorado Springs, USA. Pretty much the max altitude, and it was created in the future of 2026. Says the notes, canoes were hurt in making this park. He's trying to find out new methods and combining different props to create things that are not normal, which is what happened in the left field corner. All right, we usually start in right, but oh, look at all this. Wow. Outstanding. Using the brick building to face off underneath this triple fountain with the big scoreboard. Well, I guess it's one of the littler scoreboards, and the Major League sign above that. Outstanding. And then you have this multi-tiered restaurant-style seating, which looks really cool with the stairs. Oh, and then he's got little windows. All right, within the home run fence. Nice. And then plaza level seating above that, and he has to kind of create his own pillars or beams with the street lights that blend perfectly into. Now, do these light up? Yeah, a little bit. Kind of that orangish look that you see in the streets. Yeah, kind of looks cool. But again, wouldn't it be nice to have those beams or pillars that you can kind of connect to them that look a little bit more natural? We have a nice, big, beautiful Crystal Lake. I'm sure we're all taking notice of the absence of canoes. I don't see any signs forbidding them like we have in the past from PFK None or Nil. Wow, this looks great. I love the rocks hugging right up next to the seating section there. I clicked through the video I made for SDS, and I noticed I'm talking about how props suck right up. Probably should have used hugging or another more official sounding term than sucking up right next to it. I also wish I would have thrown in some pictures or maybe even video clips for parts where I referenced, other stadiums or something like that. But I'm pretty happy with the video. I'm glad it was seen. I'm glad people appreciated it and agreed with it. And I hope you guys thought it was well done. It was quite a bit longer than I wanted it to be, but when is a video I make not too long? I like using the one little part of the dinosaur building there. Is it a greenhouse? Yep. Sticking out, putting the clock on it. That looks great. That fits really well together. Then you got the bathrooms connected to that, garbage cans and kiosks and trees, and people are chilling out. But look at this. The only two windows together are redded out. Turned the broadcast booth into some kind of luxury restaurant or seating section that you can rent out for games. Put the steakhouse rooftop prop on top of the roof. Nice. Then again, a custom broadcast booth or official scores booth. Using the pinwheels above the scoreboard. Outstanding. Nothing standard around and behind on this stadium. Look at all this. The Western Metal Supply building and home run decks and other buildings and scoreboards and signs and all kinds of fun stuff. That lake looks phenomenal. It's another potential thumbnail. Gorgeous build from PFK Nil. Let's see, 4 stadiums in, 4 stamps. For anyone new to the channel, in the 2024 version of the game, right after the contest that Murph075 won, I was saying, wow, these are early Stadium of the Year candidates. You know, this gets like the Studio 44 seal of approval or stamp of approval, and I would kong, and I would make that sound. So eventually, Sewell made a gold seal for me, and then I made my own, and I found that sound, and now it's a staple of Studio 44 Stadium Extravaganza videos. What are these? Are these like telephone poles, or is this the tram? Oh, look at all this. I didn't even see all this over here. Are there? Oh, yeah, there's actual telephone wires. Okay. Cool. Oh, no. This bird has a canoe. It's being harmed. All right. Well, maybe we'll have a different view for I gotta kill one of these red for the thumbnail. Maybe a different angle for the thumbnail. Oh, I like all the signs on the light poles too, light towers. Nice work, sir. That's why you got that stamp. We have another new stadium for the Oakland A's. It's called New Oakland Coliseum. It's in Oakland, California. Has an altitude of 257 feet, built in 2025. Comes to us from someone we haven't seen in a while. We're glad to have him back in Studio 44, Frostman Mex. Taking a look at right field, we have one little layer of plaza level seating with the big, huge Cleveland Guardian scoreboard. Oh, built right into the top of, that's a cool idea. The tower of the one spiral building there. That's a cool idea. I like that a lot. And then over in the corner, you got a nice little pool or artificial pond with a waterfall in the back, rocks, seats curving all the way around. Dialed up behind home plate here with a bunch of toll booth tickets, giving it that luxury suite look. Nice. That's a cool idea. All the statues back there. A little something different to look at from behind the pitcher when you're on defense there. Oh, and he lined up the third baseline with that too. Did he do it in the first? Yep, did it in first base too. Fantastic. The same artificial pond or waterfall water thing. New Oakland Coliseum using the fancy fencing to keep folks from falling off. Has to hit it here. Target underneath. Very cool. Frostman Max, this may be my favorite of the year. So, oh, we have some water out here, ladies and gentlemen. And where we have water, we have canoes. We have canoes in Oakland, folks. All right. Now we're talking. Man, this is fantastic. Look at the entrance. Parking lot surrounding the stadium. Nice little city with the palm trees and the lake and the beach and the, well, bay. Probably bay, right? Buildings are going to be lit up. Stadium's going to be lit up. If the lights ever turn on. There we go. Fantastic. Frostman Mechs. I wish I could get rid of that stupid line down at the bottom. That could be another thumbnail. Boom. Beautiful work. Yeah, maybe my favorite of yours so far, Frostman Mechs. Good to have you back in Studio 44. We all know the stadium creator, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, Sewell hyphen. I forgot that hyphen in the last stadium in the last video, so my bad. Sewell hyphen 21 gives us South Bronx Stadium in the Bronx, New York, has an altitude of 280 feet, built in 1947. Now, the whole Sewell 21's Sewell hyphen 21 thing brings up an issue that I didn't realize was such a problem, but it appears that some stadiums are just kind of vanishing from the vault. I'm playing the San Juan Sharks in the World Series from 2024, the only season that my brother and I completed in the Ricky Davis League this year. And I wanted to download Oceanside Stadium from the 24 vault in the 24 game to play the World Series because it's one of the best stadiums ever created in this freaking game, and it was created for the San Juan Sharks. So I was going to play there, but I couldn't find any stadium dated further back for Sewell. I think they had a couple of his new ones, and I didn't know if it was because of the vault problems or if it was because of him having to change his gamer tag or whatever, because he went from Game Pass from Xbox back to PlayStation 5. I don't know. Either way, I couldn't find it. But I mean, look at this. Tell me that doesn't have a Bronx feel. And then you got the Stadium Center billboard up there. Fantastic, having to combine a couple of those billboards together to give Stadium Center room. Looking fantastic. Don't forget to check out his channel if you haven't already. I can't imagine I have any subscribers. He doesn't. He's got like double my subscribers. So, but I'm sure he'll be back at it soon. So check out some of his older stuff if you haven't already. And I'm sure he'll be back with a bang as soon as he's able. I like the elevated train with the little trolley cars right on up there and the scoreboard attached right to the trolley train track. Standing room only, people are there. I imagine it's got to be loud. Watch a game from there. The train's going over your head. I like the loft across the street from the stadium. Excellent. Can you reach the loft? It could be tough. Could be tough. But that's awesome. I always love stadiums where you can hit the ball out of the stadium and across the street. Fantastic. Tall parking garage. In view, an excellent, excellent stadium. An excellent, excellent highway going through the Bronx. Sewell 21 doing Sewell 21 things. Kept the seating around and behind the base paths nice and simple so he could use the memory on the city in the background and the parts of the stadium that you're going to see in the game. Nice and fancy. Beautiful stadium. The roads looking very realistic. The buildings lined up. The highway is outstanding, that elevated highway. And the train tracks go right underneath that. Another potential thumbnail. You guys are killing me. Who the heck's going to get the thumbnail today? Flipping that light switch. It looks great. This is usually the part of the stadium showcase where I throw that stamp at a stadium. And I'll certainly do it here. Gorgeous, gorgeous build, Sewell. I'm glad, even if you can't spit out some videos for us, we're glad you're still spitting out these stadiums. Pieces of art. Capital One Yards in Washington, D.C. is up next. Stadium has an altitude of 3,750 feet, built in 2025 by another one of my favorite stadium creators, Mr. Jace Chiff, or Jace155. He says his Road to the Show character was drafted by the Nationals, so he wanted to build the Nationals a new stadium, and man, did he build a piece of art. I love the lining of the statues mixed in with the little pine trees and the hedges in the back with the brick facing off the bleachers above it, and then you got the tile as your concourse or your floor with the plaza level seating. 2 levels of plaza level seating. Excellent. I like how the bleachers, they get thick and then thin and then thick again in the corner. Great work around the corner. No one likes building around the corner using the end caps, which I mentioned in the San Diego Studios video. Excellent little courtyard over here or plaza over here. Concourse. Oh, look at all the stairs. Now, how did you do? Is that the parking garage? Nice. Fantastic. So, like, the parking garage is pretty much connected, or were you just using the parking garage stairs? Because you don't really see outside of the stadium in the game. And I know Jace usually avoids spending too much time behind home plate. Too many sections. Now he's had to move away from his template because he can't bring it over. He would always use the template of that one pyramid casino, right? Is it a casino or is it like a gaming thing? Pyramid games building. They light up pretty good. So what he used to do was kind of bury some of them and have this kind of sticking out right here. I can't do it exactly as good as he did it, but yeah, he would kind of use that base as a template for all of his stadiums, and he can't really do that because, I mean, he could start over, but he doesn't have his original template because you can't bring your stadiums back. Oh, I love this multi-leveled standing room only section out here, and then the rounded concourse on top. Multi-level waterfall. This is absolutely stunning. I'm not wasting any more time. Wow. Now what is... Oh, it's the black tower, the 2 tower. All right. That looks amazing. I've been saying it for a long time. Jace is one of the best in the game. Fantastic. And way back in September of 24, we got to chat with him a little bit. In that big live stream, that 100th episode stream, where a bunch of you guys were kind enough to call in and share your thought process with us. Outstanding. Now that is an early Stadium of the Year candidate right there. Simply magnificent. The Washington bar, the W bar. I'm guessing that's what W stands for. Could be wrong. Been to Washington a few times myself. I guess once was just the airport, but my buddy who brought him up before, my buddy who used to live in Baltimore, one of the trips in '09, we went and saw the Yankees play the Orioles. He took us to Washington, and we saw the museums and the mall and the Washington Monument. We could see the White House and the Lincoln Memorial and all that stuff. So, Jace, this might be your best, and it's coming out of MLB The Show 25. Nicely done. Now, this is a stadium I probably should have teased in the beginning. This stadium was created by not one, but two heavy hitters in the stadium creator community. We have Fiserv and Archmage to thank for this stadium. Wow, I just noticed it's at 103%. How'd they pull that off? The stadium's called Splash Park. It's in San Francisco, California. The altitude is 2,000 feet, built in 2025. Fiserv said when he submitted the stadium in the notes that it is a project that him and Arch did for Diamond Dynasty Stadium for Sir Ray Ray over on Discord, Sewell's Discord, I'm guessing. Or it could be ATG's with Arch being involved. He did some Google search research for landscaping, worked on this on his PlayStation Portal in London. I don't know how the collaboration worked. I don't know if they downloaded it back and forth or if they chatted through Discord while they were working on it or what, but I'm excited to see it. And you can find it on either one of their vault pages. Their vaults? I don't know. Let's take a look. Right field, very Pac Bell Park-ish, with the bigger wall and the fancy arches and then the bleachers. And then right over the bleachers, we have the potential for splash shots, which is maybe why they call it Splash Park. Sponsored by the canoe, sponsored by the canoe company and ATG. All right. Now, what is all this up here? Are these letters? Oh, they're the water cans. Huh. Wow, that's a lot of detail to go into there. Then these are letters. Yep, they're eyes. Now that's got to look cool lit up, because that lettering prop lights up. Over in left field, they dialed it up a little bit more with some plaza level seating, and then on top of that, custom building with the arches in front, and then a little balcony up top. Excellent. The glove on top of the arches. They don't have a bottle, do they? That's one prop that I feel really should be included in the features. They got the glove, and there is a glove in San Francisco, right? But how do you not have like some kind of cola bottle? I mean, I know they do on the one batter's eye, right? The cola one, isn't there a little one on that? Oh, there's two of them. It's kind of hidden by the scoreboard, but you can see the outline of the bottles, right? From Cardinal Hill. But yeah, excellent work. With the bay in the background, the lighthouse, hills, Golden Gate Bridge, little mini skyline that you can see if you're hitting the ball to left field. Pretty standard around and behind. And it's a knockout job from two knockout creators, Arch and Fiserv. Again, built for Ray Ray for his Diamond Dynasty. Here's what she looks like with the lights on. Zooming in. Oh, you can't see those as well as I thought. Maybe because they're turned to the side. But either way, it's pretty cool. Nice custom structure to hold up the scoreboard. Anytime you do the work with arching the letters, I have a great deal of respect for that. That is tough work to get it to look nice. I can never pull it off. That's why I need Canva for my thumbnails. They kind of do that for you automatically. And then, of course, we have canoes. No canoes in the water, though, to catch those splash shots. How deep is it over here? .320, so yeah, it could be tough. You got to go over this taller wall, then over the bleachers, and then over. Oh, yeah, I don't know if you're going to hit one in the water. The beach is pretty thick. Once it hits that sand, too, it's going to go and just die. I don't think you're going to get any bounce in there. But that doesn't make the stadium any worse or less cool or amazing. In fact, it is so clean and so awesome. I think you have to throw a stamp at it. Like I think we have with every stadium in this video so far. Let's see. He has a quick rundown of who did what. He said the restaurant and bar and right was Pfizer. The canoe monument was his. The custom scoreboard was also Pfizer. The custom bar and home run deck and left was Arch. Left field seating, Arch. Club seating behind home plate was Arch. I didn't notice that. Oh, yeah, that looks like an Arch. Build right there. Nearby landscape was Arch. And the storage area down the right field line was Pfizer. Okay. Yeah. And he also sent me a Discord message, because working as a team like this, he came up with an idea of getting 3 or 4 creators together and see who can make the best stadiums. Look, if you guys want to get into something like that, I'm a little contested out after the whole controversy that was the Stadium of the Year contest. But maybe a little bit further down the road when I've recovered. I mean, I know it's been like a month now, but still, let's move on. Moving right along to another heavy hitter in the community, we have Ranger Man 226490's next build. This is Pikes Peak Park in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Has an altitude of 1,500 feet, built in 2025. Didn't Peter Piper pick his peck of peppers in Pikes Peak Park? Oh, boy, I amuse myself. Taking a look at right field, as we often do when we start things out. Nod myself and Sewell here. Jackie in the middle. Perfect spot for a little fountain. And then he looks like he has one turned around here in this little rock area with a little house. And you got a goat. That's Michael Jordan, by the way. It's not LeBron. It's not Kobe. Kobe's better than LeBron, too. I was talking to my poker buddies the other day about LeBron playing one game against the freaking 80s, 90s Pistons. He'd get hit once, fall down, and go, ow, my pussy. He's good. There's no denying that. He's one of the best in the game right now. But I don't think he would be half as good. And, oh, look at this over here. We got a fountain with a deck and some canoes. We have canoes. I hope I didn't just anger some LeBron fans. My brother has a buddy who they always argue back and forth about LeBron and Jordan, and it baffles me how he can't see, because he was a Jordan era guy. He saw Jordan dominate. Dude won 6 rings and took, what, 2.5 years off, something like that, to try to play an entirely different sport. And then he came back and freaking dominated again. Well, what? He won 3 in a row, and then he came back and won 3 more? I don't remember the exact timeline, but as a Laker fan back then, I hated the Bulls and Michael Jordan, but I respect him as the GOAT. That dude did things that no one else could do. Retired and came back twice and was still an all-star. Sorry, Ranger Man. I like how you did the outside of this. It kind of doubles with the arches. It gives the outside of the stadium a great look. And then you got this great walkway out here as well. Kind of a built-in way to close off the stadium without having to throw up a fence or something like that. Although I think these already have their own fence, but that looks way better. And you got the steak building out there, parking lot, more restaurants. Out in the middle of the snow. Signage, putting the scoreboard up there with it. Cool. I might have to bleep out the word I don't think I've ever said that on Studio 44 before. I've sworn before, but wow, the hit it here sign, that's a poke out in that parking garage. Very quirky dimensions once again. Stadium looks great, lit up. He lit up the mountains in the background. Trees in the mountains surrounded the stadium with hills, and put the clock. Yeah, Ranger Man is one of our better realistic facing off of the outside guys. Excellent work once again from Mr. White. There's another stamp, and we're going to move on to another stadium. I got a comment in one of my videos. This viewer suggested compiling all the Tampa Bay stadiums and all the Oakland stadiums together so people have choices. It seems like I would have to make its own video, and then the stadiums would take a little bit longer to be seen, I think. So I think that would be a little bit of an injustice to those stadiums. So I would say just skim through the videos, on your own, because we usually get like one or two a video of at least one of them, right? Oakland or Tampa Bay. So I say just keep your eyes open just to get everybody's stadium seen that much faster. But yeah, this is one of those stadiums that's supposed to be a new home for the A's. And right field looks awesome right away with this custom structure here hosting these plaza level luxury is what I usually call them. I like Jack's Bistro right into the windows and the out-of-town scoreboard in the middle of there. That's fantastic. Standing room only underneath with a couple picnic tables, round picnic tables. Futuristic round picnic tables, which probably makes them not picnic tables at all. But there's the tasty real Italian sausage. And that's another thing I should have mentioned. I mean, it kind of comes, at least I think it would be given. But when I mentioned in the video that they should have fans interacting with the props, they should have the people working behind these too. Because if you're going to be playing games in these things, there's going to be someone back there. Ooh, you can get a milkshake for $8. Holy crap. Anyway, this all looks great with the little wedge building kind of buried in there, and then all the picnic tables or whatever tables in there. See, now that looks more like a round picnic table, I guess. But he's got this little plaza back here with a bunch of different restaurants and buildings and the team store. And then on top of that is maybe a fun area for the kids to hit some balls. Outstanding. Jedi Yank. Love this. Another fun little corner section with some doors to get you back inside the stadium. These guys are checking their digs out. Maybe this is a private deck that you can get. There's a nod to Jackie. Oh, the Cooper patio. Fantastic. Jedi Yank, I've only seen right field of the stadium so far, and it's my favorite of yours ever. Great job with the scoreboard, adding some signage to it to make it look a little unique. He's got another scoop deck back here with Norcom right above that. Again, this could be a custom broadcast booth or official scores. In left field, you can probably reach two of these decks. And they have the wedge building. Oh, no, this isn't the wedge. This is the other one with the overhang. Which leads out to another park, too. Awesome. Hall of Fame circle will be lit up. Fun area for the kids over here in the left field corner, way back hidden. And then there's some stairs that will take you down to another little restaurant in there. Have a big bite. What is this one? Drink and food. Sandwiches and hot dogs. Okay, $2 sandwich at a baseball game. That's a good deal. Zooming back, he's got the futuristic roof, so that may affect the lighting. Yep, always looks darker when you have that futuristic roof until you get like way down in here. That's a cool shot right there. Know what's going on in the Aqua Theater? Nothing. Now this thing, I don't know if you have to fill this thing up with fans, because it's going to be something that you see in the background, right? It's rarely part of a stadium. It's usually something you can see in the scenery. But there's the hotel, a few more buildings surrounding the structure. Looks great. That looks like the end of Major League. When the Indians are about to play the Yankees to see who moves on. Jedi Yank. Keeping the streak going. Outstanding. Dharma is our next stadium. It's on the island, which is in XYZ. Has an altitude of 3,030 feet, built in 1974. I loved Lost. I got to interview Ben, or help interview Ben. I didn't interview him myself. The actor who played Ben when I was working in radio. He was like Bugs Bunny. Remember him? He was like the head of Dharma. Like, you pissed him off, it was like pissing off Bugs Bunny. You know, of course, this means war, and he'd go after you and get you. Man, I got to rewatch that show. The first 2 seasons are amazing, and then parts of 3 are good, and then it goes downhill pretty fast. Like, they talked about how, like, when they finished the show, they're like, oh, they couldn't believe they were filming all these things that they had in the back of their mind all this time, and now they're finally getting to film it. This is the resolution, the conclusion that we were building up. The whole bullshit. They never. J.J. Abrams had no clue how that show was going to end. He just, never thought the show would get picked up and wanted to make it as weird as possible, and then had to come up with explanations as he went along. But anyway, look at this funky little Hall of Fame circle out here. Built in with the steps taking you down. You got the circle in there, and then the retired numbers over here. These are the numbers, aren't they? All retired Yankee numbers, by the way. Lou Gehrig, Yogi Berra, and Bill Dickey. This is Thurman Runson, right? And this is Whitey Ford. And then 23 is Donnie Baseball, and 42 is Mo. At the time, I don't think 42 was retired for Mo, or maybe not even Jackie Robinson yet. But every single one of those is a retired Yankee number, Whitey Ford. The balloon. Is the balloon something significant to Lost? That I don't remember. I know there was a parachute, right? Is that what it's supposed to be? Maybe it's a parachute? And then the shipwreck. Yep, the Black Rock. Isn't that where the French girl, didn't her thing? They made a golf course. The Dharma Initiative. Now what's all this? Oh, wow, this is some Texas eggs construction right there, putting all the little spaces in between. Fantastic. And then there's the Oceanic, I can't remember the number, but it's crashed in the rocks. Oh, and there's a doll. Oh, shit. We're going to have to take the boy. I have a picture of me grabbing my nephew. My mother loves it because my nephew looks so scared. I'll put it up in post. But I was messing around with the kids one day, and it was a little after the time where that creepy dude, here's some Dharma, right? They had their own little village. I don't remember the significance of this. How about what's the thing in the ground? Like it's like a vault. Is that what they called it, a vault? I don't know, but there's a whale and the ship, not Penny's boat. Penny. At the time, my wife and I were talking about getting married, and I was like, if we ever have a kid, I want to name her Penny. If we ever have a girl. Not Penny's boat. Do you want to die? I used to do pretty good impressions of some of the Lost folks. I used to do a pretty good Sawyer. I haven't heard him talk in a while, although I did see him on Yellowstone. And he looked like this all the time. And Jack, I didn't sound like Jack, but he would always be like, "What are you doing here, Kate?" "I told you not to come out here, Kate." Jack Shepard. Yeah, my wife just mentioned that show the other day, saying we have to watch it. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. See, look at, he's using this as kind of a shell for the outside of the stadium. Why can't you give us a prop? Or why can't they give us a prop similar to this that, doesn't have all this crap sticking out behind it, all the concrete and, whatever that, maybe it's a big video board or something there that's sticking out past the roof. But give us a roof that ends right there so we can suck it up and it would look like a dome, a retractable roof. If it's too complicated to make a working retractable roof or even a dome, you can at least give us that, and we can, instead of having to build our own versions of roofs. Stadium's pretty well well suited for big crowds for an island that is like impossible to find. But I love it, Rico. I love that show. The first 3 seasons, like I said, are so good. It's funny. There's action. There's romance. And there's sad moments and characters that you care about, and a lot of great backstories. The characters are well written and developed. And I just think it was amazing. Yeah, I love it. Great idea. And he's using the shark scoreboard. That makes sense, right? And of course, the canoes. I was doing such a good job of speeding up some of the stadiums till I got in here, but I love this one. Flip the light switch. And this is where we give it a stamp. Oh, one of my favorites was Mr. Echo. Once he got going, he was very happy. And he would say, "I am Mr. Echo." My wife would get so mad at me for, "Stop talking like Mr. Echo." Oh, is this Michael, right? Michael and his kid, they had the dog, right? The hatch. That's what they called it. There it is. This is the hatch, right? Let me make sure the notes. Kick out of some of the things you'll find in the island of the hatch. Polar bear statue. Yep, the polar bear statue, the numbers I found. A horse Kate finds. I forgot about the horse. The man in Black's bench. Claire's demon baby. That's right. Claire had the baby. The Hall of Fame circle area shaped like the Dharma logo. Okay. Henry Gale's balloon. Okay, so there was a balloon. I remember the Black Rock. I remember the golf. I don't remember the cabin, but excellent, excellent work, Rico. That's why I got the stamp. And it's still fun, on top of that. You got targets like you can hit the ball into the pond. You can hit balls onto the hatch towards Dharma, into the home run circle. So even without the fun, lost references, it's still a great stadium. And this little deck hosting all this stuff was done very well. Yeah, they did have like a zoo there, right? Where the polar bear would have been. I didn't see the bear. I don't remember the bear. Was there a bear on the island or a bear statue? Oh, the cabin. Isn't that where there was like a radio signal? Is that why it's near the tower? And these guys are writing SOS in the sand. Well, you just fast forwarded The Lost being on my list of stuff to watch. I wish it ended better. I still think people get it wrong. People think, oh, they were just dead the whole time. Blah, blah. No, they weren't dead the whole time. they they were on the island. The backstories that you saw, the flashes in the final season, that's only when they're dead. That's the only part that they're talking about where they're dead. Jack died on the island. He didn't die and then he was dead the whole time he was on the island. You know, all those guys, they actually died within the story, and then the parts they were in like a purgatory, right? But yeah, I love it. Great work, Rico. Moving on to someone who's not only new to Studio 44, but someone new to the tool in general. I can't imagine the 25 version of the game being your first taste of Stadium Creator, just with all the bugs that are involved with this. But anyway, this is Brick and Mortar Park. It's in Anytown, USA, has an altitude of 1,250 feet, built in 2025, comes to us from L40TH41R10. He says in the notes, there's plenty of targets in left field, including a swimming pool with a canoe. It's his attempt to design a functional, quasi-believable stadium with space which blends modern amenities with brick aesthetic, reminiscent of the old days and the retro classic movement. It's his first ever completed stadium, so we'd love some feedback. So maybe he's played around in the tool before, but finally got one finished. Starting off from right field, fairly simple with 2 decks. He's got the distances labeled with that crappy wooden prop. Hopefully we'll get some new numbers as new props in the near future. The top looks very nice with a big scoreboard with some concession stands underneath. Standing room only folks behind a fence. There's a big wiffle ball field on top and another restaurant area as well. The corner looks cool with a little Wrigley building and a whole little plaza area. Folks underneath the little canopy or the easy up, whatever you want to call that, tent. Yeah, this all looks great. Ballpark eats. The deck over here. Pretty standard around behind. Now let's get out to left field where he says he has all the targets. There's another Hall of Fame circle. Homage to Jackie being paid. We'll hit it here. The sign is right in the glove, which is on a home run deck. And then you got the clubhouse, and there's a pool with a canoe. We have a canoe. Then you got some picnic table seating with the old school clock. I like the clock. There's the brick he was talking about, kind of mixed in. That looks really good. Which building is this? Oh, it's that wedge one. Okay. Right? Nope. Oh, it's the smokestack one. Okay. But yeah, I like that with the luxury seats coming out. See, I wish we could have like 1 or 2 rows like that, but without all this crap in the back. Because you got to hide, you know, the part that comes out and the fence up there, and like 2 or 3 rows slanted. They could put them right up against the field and then have another row behind them. That way the people up against the field, you know, look like they're in a little bit fancier seating. But then past the brick, you got the old school office building. I say old school just because it's been in the game since its launch. Stadium Creators launch, that is. Lazy River built right in up here. Nyla's Diner. Yeah, this is all fun. Says he'd love some feedback. The only feedback I'd have to give you is maybe just save a little love for right field. I do like everything jam-packed. I think it looks cool with all the, you know, organized chaos. You know, jamming everything in, keeping it nice and tight. Don't want to leave too much dead area in a stadium, if you ask for my opinion. So you handled that well, but maybe you could add more fun stuff in here. I mean, there's obviously stuff up top, but, I mean, you can't really reach it, or you may not even be able to see it in a game. But, again, that's just my opinion. But the stadium's well done. It's very clean. Oh, he's got a custom ramp out here. What? Oh, he used that one little house, right? What is this thing called even? Modern triplex. Okay. Man, getting in here, fiddling around with all that, this makes me realize how long it's been since I've made a stadium. Last time I even touched or even tried to make a stadium was when I was trying to do that live stream and I couldn't get network connection, so I decided to just build a stadium. And then eventually I got on and went on with the thing, but. Or did I give up that night? I think I may have given up that night. But flipping the light switch, stadium looks great at night. And, oh, the outside of the building looks amazing too. Outstanding, dude. Okay, now, you guys agree with me, right? I'm not just handing these out to try to make some Studio 44 history or anything like that, but this is a stampable park so far. And every stadium we've shown is also that. Very clean on the outside and on the inside. Fun ideas. That organized chaos, like I said, I like. That whole left field gives me Big Impact, or I don't think we've seen a 25 stadium from Big Impact, have we? Big Impact or Fresh One X. Great work. Keeping the stamps going at 12 stadiums in. And I think there might even be a thumbnail in here going around like I was. Maybe over here. Yeah. I kind of like that. Different view for a thumbnail. Too many good stadiums, guys. Fantastic. What's that saying? Speak of the devil and he should appear. Is that what it is? We were just talking about Fresh One X, and he is back in Studio 44 with Burt Garvin Field. It's in Weehawken, New Jersey. Has an altitude of 1,000 feet, built in 2025, and comes to us under a new name of Masterson 26, formerly known as Fresh One X. He said he did atmosphere in his park, not as usual. Pops with the lights off. First park of 25. He says he loves the stadium. Well, let's see if we love it too. Ooh, I like that funky triangle type deck with this built right in it. That's a cool structure. Kind of creating our own fountain or sculpture kind of thing to put in the middle of a deck. Oh, and I like how it goes down in here. That's cool. Excellent. That's going to be a target. I like using the barriers there too. You got the fun little sections in the corner here. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, he's got the lights between the tables, concessions lined up against this building, using the marble or whatever that is to cover up the standard gray that comes with this old school building. Big scoreboard, and then of course created some kind of luxury seating up there with that same window. The big huge park in the background. Fantastic. And there's the old sandcrawler building again. I think I mentioned it in that when I was live. I couldn't find it. I have to figure out what I did with it when I posted that video, but I did a little live video while I was on my cruise, and I talked about how you could see a building from the cruise ship before we took off that looked like the sandcrawler building. But look at this little, you got to call it a canal, because it looks like it was purposely made for this stadium. And then you got this grass walkway that takes you back to the deck. And then going back to the canal, it comes into this excellent waterfall that comes right into. I mean, if that's not stamp worthy right there, I don't know what the hell is. Again, another Stadium of the Year candidate right off the bat. 3 videos in for the show 25. I like this little section of table sticking out. Fresh 1X Masterson 26. Doug. I got so many things I can call you, buddy. Excellent down the lines and behind. He always makes these unique back here. No exception here. Wow. I mean, you guys can see this, right? This is shaping up to be in one of my best videos ever, thanks to your amazing stadiums, guys. Oh, those buildings look good in the background. I wish they did every building like that. I like the Jetsons building, too. Have I mentioned this before? Where's the Jetsons live action? We got a Flintstones. How's there not a Jetsons live action yet? Well, be looking for this in Sewell's feature of the video, if he's still doing that. This right here, I mean, that's outstanding. The fact that you thought to have it like perpendicular to the building and like center field home run fence and then have it come in at that awkward angle, I think just makes it look so cool instead of having the canal go straight back. Is that what you'd have to call that? Of course, we have 2 people who are in trouble because, I mean, that could easily take them right into the waterfall, but we have a canoe. Another funky little fun nooch. I'm blown away. Doug, I hope it's okay if I just call you Doug. This is easily your best stadium. Wow, even Garden State was so good too. Did I even turn the lights on yet? Man. I hope I have find some mind-blown animation that I can throw in and post, but one of the top 10 best I've ever seen in a game right here. Absolutely love it. Rolling right along with Stadium Creator Royalty as we check out the box in Montana. The stadium has an altitude of 300 feet, built in 1989, comes to us from Texas Ags, and seeing these comments just breaks my heart to think that we're at this point of a tool that's 5 years old. But he says in the note, it was a challenge just to get the thing built in MLB 25. He said it's his second stadium using MLB 25, and boy, was it a headache to complete, and that he hopes I can show it, appreciate it. I'm guessing he means that he hopes I can get it downloaded and shown. Well, fortunately, I can. So let's see. We did have problems with Zach's stadium in the last video, but right away we can see that it's outside of his normal style. Often his stadiums have like a distinctive pattern that goes like right around the entire stadium, and you can see that right field and left field are completely different, and I love it. This building that's hosting these bleachers with this custom roof on top of it that like takes shape of the custom made feature. Wow. The arches underneath. Then you got the racetrack on the other side. Fantastic. Did they make this look different? Or am I just used to seeing people put people in there? I know Murph and Dan and Carmen's dad, they put stands in there, right? To have people in there. But as always, Texas Ags did not mess around outside of the stadium either. The stadium has that wonderful dug in the ground look. There's another cool thumbnail too. And I haven't even seen the whole inside of the stadium yet. Again, one of our better outside of the stadium builders right here, Texas Ags, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all this detail. Every building, every tree, every fence and prop put in the exact right place to make it look so freaking good. There it is, the box. Now, I'm wondering, is this supposed to be just a way to close in this area, or is it supposed to be just like a shorter, smaller 2-story parking garage? Either way, it looks amazing. Texas Ags is always kind enough to leave comments also when I ask questions, because I always have so many. Texas Ags, you're one I got to get on the phone with you, buddy. Get inside of that head of yours. I know during the last contest you typed while I was showing your stadiums, but man, I would love to chat with you sometime. This is out frickin' standing. "14 stadiums in, guys. 14 stamps given. Unbelievable. I'm not just doing it right. These are fucking awesome." I got to get my Ricky Davis guys built so I can play in these stadiums. Built, made. I know I was supposed to do that this week, but I spent a lot of time on the SDS video and a lot of relaxing too. I'm not going to lie. I got lazy. Although I did get some stuff done. I moved the studio around in a different corner. I know that doesn't seem like much work, but I was on this wall and then I moved over here. And I did some yard work, chopping some bushes down. That killed my back as an old fat guy. So I did get a lot done over my break, just not as much done in Studio 44. Plus, chat with Sewell, he's got me worried about my internet not being strong enough to handle the dual stream. So maybe I'll get on just with Twitch just to check it out. I also do want to get, it almost happened. I almost got a desktop computer to handle the dual streaming because I think that is the next step. Sewell's talked me into it. But another thumbnail, another great stadium, another masterpiece, another stamp from Texas Ags. Wow, guys. Okay, I tell you what I'll do. This is another stadium meant for the A's. So how about I throw up a graphic, and I'll do the previous one in post too. I'll put up a graphic stating that this is an A's or Rays stadium. That way they kind of stick out if you're fast forwarding through, because I know you guys don't want to listen to me for an hour and a half. But yeah, I'll do that. This one is MGM Grand Stadium. It's in Las Vegas, Nevada. Altitude of 2,001 feet, which is, I think, pretty close to what the actual altitude is of Vegas. Year built in 2028. So get your TARDISes, get your DeLoreans out, and you can play in the stadium today. But it comes to us from someone new to Studio 44. Great Sludge is the gamer tag. He says in the notes that it's his first build in a while. He wants to take him a little bit more seriously thanks to the inspiration he got by all your stadiums that have been here in Studio 44. And he knows it's not perfect, but it's his first attempt at a retractable roof stadium and would like to know what I think. So, let's see what I think. I really like right field. I like facing off the luxury seats with, what is this, a scoreboard? Laser ribbon? Yep, laser ribbon. And then putting the name of the stadium right on the 3 layers. Dig that look. And it's layered too, not stacked up on top of each other. Stair style as opposed to just straight up is what I mean by layered. I like having the second and third decks shoot out as opposed to being parallel. That looks kind of cool. I like the Kirby steps over here. Excellent. Outdoor concessions. Always a fan of that, so you can watch the game. Oh, and that looks really good too. Very creative way to close off that top deck. Put some picnic tables up there and concessions, and did it behind home plate too. Pretty standard around and behind. Excellent. And did it over in the left field corner. Nice. Excellent, excellent windows. And you know why they're excellent? Probably the best entryway windows I've ever seen, because he hid the actual door part, that part that sticks up. A lot of people leave that showing, and it kind of kills the illusion of a window frame. But hiding them with the housing thing here, it helps give the illusion that it's just a window. So excellent. And then using the green shipping container pieces as some kind of border or trim looks excellent. Center field, you got the big deck. Team store, concessions, wiffle ball field. People are up there watching kids hit. Very fun indeed. Yeah, this, as far as taste in stadiums, this isn't necessarily my kind of stadium if you're looking for feedback, but that's just because you have so much seating, plaza level seating between the pole and the batter's eye, and that's just happens to be not necessarily my taste. But the way you put everything together and how clean everything is from the inside of the stadium, looks like it could be an SDS stadium. It's fantastic. Again, the windows, probably the best I've ever seen, at least in regards to using the blue frame. I've seen other people use like the end caps. I want to say Sluggish Moth or Young Gun. I'm sorry, fellas, I can't remember who did it. But using the end cap of the old school roof looks fantastic. And again, the MGM Grand luxury seating out there looks fantastic. And I like using the black tower. Yeah, this is all good. Now, we have a streak going here, fellas. Oh, we got to touch up on this. This is a definitely cool way to do the retractable roof. Yeah, looks like this could come down and then everything could slide out over. Excellent. So, like I said, we have a streak going here, fellas. So far, 14 stadiums have been stamped. And this is the 15th. Now, this would normally be on the bubble for me, like I said earlier, just because of the seating between the foul poles on either side. But it's so clean. It looks like it could be a real stadium. The windows are done perfectly using the entry gates, the blue entry gates. I think it could be stamp worthy. I think Paul Goldschmidt booted this stadium, and the official score didn't know whether he should give him a hit or an error because he's got a no-hitter going. Right? But I promise I'm not going to go back in and change it. I'm not going to take the stamp away if someone else doesn't get a stamp. But it's good enough, right? I don't think it's unreasonable to throw this thing a stamp to keep the streak going. But yeah, there's enough going on for the stadium. So there's my feedback. Great sludge. Great to have you in Studio 44. Keep them coming. My only feedback would be, just try to think outside the box a little bit. Get a little bit more creative of where you put your decks, and instead of just wrapping them around, kind of like the White Sox and Yankees did with their stadiums. Find more like Pittsburgh Pirates, San Diego Padres ways to get a second deck in the outfield. Citi Field. I think it could, just... I hate to use the phrase cookie cutter, but, just de-cookie cutter the stadium a little bit. But like I said, everything is so clean and so fantastic. Very worthy of that stamp. Back-to-back newcomers to Studio 44. Diamond Cracks has sent me Valley Springs Ballpark to check out. Says there are no targets, just some cool, unique features. Says it took him a full day to create this park. Says he wanted to pay a lot of attention to detail and make some unique aspects to the stadium and have it be fun to play in. So this is in Cave Creek, Phoenix. That's what PHX stands for, right? Has an altitude of 1,070 feet, built in 2025. Taking a look at right field. Well, we're off to a good start. Oh, look at this. Oh, this whole thing. Well, canoes. We have canoes. I love this. The water comes right up to the home run fence. There's like this own little unique deck. Some boulders popping up. The steps taking you inside to the... Have we talked about this? What are these things? Is this like luxury seating? I see there's like doors maybe over here. I still say they should be bathrooms. And then this top part is like 5 foot tall. This part, so you can watch the game while you're taking a piss. There's urinals right around here. You don't miss anything. But yeah. I mean, what are these really intended to be? Have we discussed that yet? Have we figured that out? Because you don't see those in many modern ballparks. But anyway, is this supposed to be like a pool created, or is it like natural water that they kind of built around? But either way, we have canoes, and we have flags and boulders and the little T-shirt signs over here. Scoreboard peeking up above the batter's eye. Nice left field with the plaza level seating and the roof on top. Excellent corner. Hall of Fame circle in the middle. Stairs. Obviously a minor league ballpark with only one deck. This section is broken up with statues and kiosks and restaurants and concessions. Another great staircase taking you up here. Fantastic. Yeah, I'd say very unique features. Twisty, turny roadway behind the stadium. Very fun. Excellent little minor league build. And I love the contrast. See, I wish I could use this dirt. I just can't get myself to use that cut. That makes me nuts. But this is Bermuda grass, right? Oh, the bluegrass, I'm sorry. I love the contrast between that green, like almost cartoony grass with the dark red clay. But without the cut, I have to settle for this one, the orange clay. But this is my favorite color. So I usually settle for the dark red clay. And as I discovered in the last version of the game, even this tan one, it looks like they wet it down when you're playing a game, so it's not quite that tan. And the sand one too, it says beach sand, but if you're playing in a game, it looks wetted down. But yeah, this just looks like it's like the 8th inning of a game in the middle of July, on a 100-degree game in the middle of July where the field's not watered down anymore, and it just looks crappy. So yeah, that contrast looks really good. Bet you didn't think I could babble on that much about dirt color, huh? Oh, boy, I amuse myself. Let's flip that light switch and take a look at the place at night. Excellent. Now, this is new, right? This is maybe another thing I should have brought up in that video to SDS. The leaking, whatever that is, the funky black. I mean, I guess it's probably not a big deal in a game, so maybe it's not that much of an issue. But yeah, it only pops up if you zoom way back. But it's unbelievable, guys. This is another fantastic stadium. This is another potential thumbnail, which means it is, in fact, another stamp. We are 16 for 16. And I know it's going to be hard for you guys. So maybe don't say the specific stadiums. But in the comments right now, type in if the perfect game should be still going, or if I missed one or two that probably shouldn't have a stamp. You don't have to name the stadium specifically, so we're not, crushing any dreams. Because I know the golden stamp is the ultimate goal when it comes to stadium creating. But Yeah, let me know if you think I'm being unreasonable. Nice work. Welcome to Studio 44 Diamond Cracks. Here we go, folks. Throwing that little graphic up in the right corner there. We know we have a new stadium for the Tampa Bay Rays. This is new. Tropicana Field. It's in Clearwater Beach, Florida. Has an altitude of 75 feet, and it will be ready for us in 2028. Comes to us from Flip of Plan B 211. Right field. I like using the corner and adding the luxury seats on at the end. Nice look. Center field, we have a pool with water and, of course, canoes. We have canoes. Using the sign, okay, to close things out. Excellent. Very nice. Now, oh no, this isn't a pool. It's out by the bay. Okay, holy crap. Whole thing surrounded. And I like the little window to look out. Very fun. Same thing in left. That little pool or little window to peek out. You got the Tampa Bay Rays label on the roof. Pretty standard around and behind it. Outside of the gap in here where people can come into the stadium and take a peek. Excellent. Closed off. Very nice. Nicely. Now this is new too. What's with these little patches? Is there something blocking, giving shade or something? Is it from these guys? No. That's new. Why is that doing that? You guys see what I'm seeing, right? Those like triangle patches. And right here kind of looks like a sideways mountain. Are they... is it from clouds? I don't know. I like this look too. The layers and the road signs. That's a good one. If you have something thick enough, that is a great pillar substitute right there. Very nice. Flip of Plan B. Yeah, it kind of hides everything nice. I mean, that sticks up a little bit, but you can barely notice if you're pulled back. Flip of Plan B, 211. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Dug it. We have yet another newcomer to Studio 44 in Kane County Park in Geneva, Illinois. We have a Geneva here in Rochester. Well, in New York State. It's not really close to Rochester, but it's close to me. About an hour from me, maybe. Has an altitude of 100 feet, built in 2025. That newcomer is Camaro MC. And he says there's a hit it here in the left above the concession stand. And he says this is a take on an MLB version of Northwestern Medicine Field in Kane County, home of the Kane County Cougars. a former Single A affiliate of the Marlins, Diamondbacks, A's, and Cubs. Says this is his first stadium submission and only the second stadium he's ever completed. Says he tried to get the dimension as close to what the stadium currently is as he could get. So let's take a look at right field. Excellent. Again, the rounded seats curving around. I like. Now, is this for looks, or is it just to get the curve? The rectangle, triangle look looks pretty cool. Concessions and the glove and scoreboards up here. Pretty standard around and behind. Adding 2 decks is a great way to give it a major league feel. And then in left field, more seats. There's the hit it here sign. That's a poke. I mean, it's hard when you have plaza level seating sucked right up without cutting it off anyway. It's hard enough to get up there, just onto the concourse part itself. 335 right down the line, and then 374 in that gap. Yeah, I don't know if you're getting it there in a game. Maybe a home run derby. But excellent. Got the roadway with the train track going underneath the highway. Yeah, for your second stadium, this is an excellent build. Uses the train station out here as entrance. Fantastic. Some picnic tables next to the batter's eye. Aloha Joe's. And a little kiosk on this side. Yeah, excellent. It's very clean. It's hard to give too much feedback on a stadium that exists. And I know you said it's a major league take on that stadium, but if you want to make it look like a real stadium, it's kind of hard for me to give you ideas. But again, it's just about, for me, for my taste personally, thinking outside the box, finding more creative ways to present different levels and decks and concourses and stuff like that, just to, make a stadium stand out from. But this has like a very Milwaukee. What was their one before Miller Park? Was it Busch? No, not Busch. That's St. Louis. Was it County? Something County? Or is that Atlanta? I don't know. But yeah, with just the plaza level seating or field level seating on either side, it's kind of hard to get a little bit more creative just by putting different props on the flat area above there. So again, finding different ways to present your seats, your second decks in the outfield, or water or some other kind of unique feature helps it stand out, above other ones. That's the only feedback I have, because it's very clean. It looks, like a real stadium. And I've never seen the stadium that you're trying to look like, so I can't give you feedback on that one. So, hey, it's a great stadium, and we're super happy to have you, Camaro MC, here in Studio 44. Keep building them, keep sending them. I'll keep showing them. Once again, we have a newcomer to Studio 44. Welcome, Honey Stripes. He sends Bluegrass Park our way. The stadium is located in Lexington, Kentucky, has an altitude of 856 feet, built in 2025. He says, I don't know if this is a stadium we would normally show in the channel, but any feedback would be helpful. You know what? Any stadium, until I get overwhelmed with the amount of submissions, or if I get too far behind, I will show any and all stadiums. I don't want to show too many little tweaks of stadiums, like, hey, you just showed this stadium last week, but I deleted a deck and put in a thing. I don't want to keep doing stuff like that, but I mean, for the most part, I'll keep showing your stadiums. Oh, another thing I wanted to put a kibosh on, just because we've had so many of them, guys. Please, no more Wrigley LAs or the Coliseum. What's the name of the one with the stupid big wall in left field that's in the middle of a football field? I've shown 30 versions of both of those, so I know they're popular stadiums, because they were so unique at their time, but I think we've seen enough of them, huh? So, yeah, those, we can move on from those. But here we go. This is Bluegrass Park from Money Stripes. And listen, don't just take feedback from me. If you come in the live premieres, I mean, all the heavy hitters are usually there. The Murphs, the Texas Ags, the Sewells, the Schmitties. Jace Chiff has been showing up to a lot more of these. You could get feedback from more than just me. So my suggestion is to take note of when the premieres are. Follow me on Facebook, Studio 44 with Phil Sherman. You can follow me there. If you're subscribed to the channel, I always put, when the premiere is going to happen, usually same day or usually the very earliest day before. But I think I give you enough notice where you can pop on and join us, later on. But yeah, you'll get feedback from more than just me and people who are a lot better at making stadiums than me. So pretty standard around and behind as we take a look at, again, this isn't necessarily my type of stadium. A lot of ground level stuff going on. But there's definitely some fun ideas. The glove in the middle here is fun, and everybody's taking a big peek at it. And then you got the overhang section right here, and then holes in the home run walls where people can look through there. Yeah, Hall of Fame section, singers in the background, football stadium in the background. I always like putting the signs on the lights. And as much as I say I like it, I never do it myself. Yeah, I think something that might help this stadium is some kind of theme. It looks like you kind of just grabbed a bunch of stuff, and it's organized really well, and it looks, well thought out. I like everybody surrounding the fountain. That looks really cool. But quirky dimensions, the holes in the walls is always fun where people can be right on the field looking through and seeing the game. Yeah, send any stadium. I'll be happy to show it. I'll never bash any stadium. I'll be as constructive as I can. And again, like I said, legends, absolute legends are usually at the premieres. So you'll get some feedback from them too. A lot of fun. I love your use of the standing room only. That's big. I mentioned it in the video. SDS should have fans interacting with the props naturally. Like, people should be working at these kiosks with people in line already. People at picnic tables. People should be sitting down. People should be filling this up. We shouldn't have to put the standing room only people in there. This should be treated as a regular fan prop or stands prop. People should be in those seats. Maybe even people on the balconies of these buildings where they have these balconies available to you. But again, yeah, this is really cool. Putting the plants all the way around it, and people are circling the fountain. I just hope Frank Reynolds doesn't pee in that fountain. Any Sunny fans? Sunny fans around? Anybody? Anybody? Yeah, definitely fun, Honey Stripes. Keep cranking them out. Keep sending them my way. I'll keep showing them. Again, layers is important for me. Everything in this stadium is just flat on the ground, and that doesn't happen to be my taste. If you suck everything closer to the home run wall, you're kind of forced to create these layers with decks of seating and concourses and whatever, and I think it gives you more of a realistic look and something that's nicer to look at than if everything's kind of flat and spread out. But again, that's just my opinion. So read through the chats, read through the comments, see what other people have to say about it. I'm sure you'll get some great feedback. Also, check out Sewell's Discord. Join his Discord and post pictures up there. You'll get more great feedback there too. Did I turn the lights on yet? Let's do that real quick. Looks good. All right, sir. Well done. We are back in Kentucky for Kent Plaza. This is Blue View, Kentucky. Has an altitude of 1,500 feet, built in 2017. In the notes, it says there are home run hills, stocked shops, and diehard fans. Like diehard baseball fans or fans of the diehard movies? What more could you ask for from a day at the ballpark? Let's see if there's any hints. I've never seen Die Hard. Well, no, I've seen I think the first three, but I've only seen the first one once. I'm not a huge fan, but I don't remember much about it. The outfield gives me a minor league vibe with the home run hills, like he mentioned. People are chilling out in the little grass area, which is kind of weird to see in a ballpark, a major league ballpark, at least where there's a major league game going on. I talked about that guy who went to the home opener of the A's at Sacramento, that stadium there, and there's a big spot in right field for people to sit, and he was showing video of it. I should probably post a link. It was a pretty cool video to see, soul crushing at the same time, because you just feel so bad for him and all the others A's fans who just have their team freaking ripped right from them because of another fucking greedy billionaire. I'm so sick of this shit. But anyway, I love the feel of this minor league or college or school or just some kind of independent league stadium, boxing it in with this building. This makes perfect sense because the windows are very similar to the luxury suite windows. And then throwing the roof on top of that, excellent. Nice little city surrounding the area, grass and sidewalks, roads, trees, fountains right behind. Excellent. More buildings in the back with, again, using the... Now, does that fit perfectly almost, or... Yeah, it's pretty close. Because I've seen some before where you've had to, like, put two next to each other to fit a scoreboard, but that laser... Oh, no, that's not laser ribbon. That's the smaller scoreboard, right? Skater 3, boy. Did I mention his name? I don't know. Yeah, it's a great little city park. Let me know about the Die Hard. I personally don't see anything that makes me think the movie's Die Hard. How many were there? 4, 5? I know the last one was like ripped apart as like a terrible movie. But that's all I remember about the last couple ones. And I know Alan Rickman is in the first one. Yeah, the tree placement is what does it for me in this stadium. I can never pull off trees. They just look so forced whenever I try to get them in spots. This is another borderliner, but I like the city enough. I like the placement of some of the props. I think I like enough of it to stamp it. Skater boy. Or Skater 3 boy. Excellent work, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, our final newcomer of the video is Packers Dynasty 1. He has Brickyard Stadium for us to check out. It's in Indianapolis, Indiana. Altitude of 729 feet, built in 1917. He says there's a unique concourse behind the plate in plaza level, so not standard. All right. After this, we have two more stadium creator legends, and then we'll call it a video. But first, whoa, look at all this. Fantastic. It's like a cross between MTA bus driver, Fresh One X, and what's the other guy? All sports are fake, right? Maybe a little RC4 in there too. RC4 625. And also maybe a little Big Impact. But yeah, I like I like the green hill surrounding the home run fence. Is this a template? This looks like a template, right? Now, what's between? Oh, okay. There's like a little walkway that goes all the way around the stadium. That's cool. And then there's lights lining everything up. The Ivy Garden. Okay. I like this bleacher section over the waterfall. All right. What is this building? Courthouse. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, this over here is a little funky situation too. I like it. Kind of blended in together to make it look like a one big building. You got futuristic seating, you got modern seating and contemporary seating. Wedge buildings. Looks like he spent most of his time on the inside of the stadium. 47,000 people. Yeah. Yeah. Again, he's got some fun stuff here, but everything's kind of pushed back. So, yeah, it's going to be great views. But again, to me, it's more fun when you have, different home run targets. And I'm not sure if you can get much anything past this walkway in a game. But everything sure looks great. Using that building again as kind of a substitute for a roof. The clock and the New Orleans buildings with the banners and the theater. One of my favorite buildings in the game. The stacked fountains looks pretty cool. A lot going on. Very, very fun. The moving sculpture. Yeah, very all sports are fake-ish, right? RC4. Let's turn on them lights. Nicely done indeed, sir. Packers Dynasty 1. I feel like I've run into your stadiums in the vault in the past. Is that true? Is that possible? Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't say this is like your first stadium or anything, so it could be. But yeah, I feel like I've gone through the vault before and seen Packers Dynasty. But there's the courthouse back there. All right, yeah, that looks really cool. Seats are coming off it. Excellent. Hid the Western Metal Supply with Ivy. That's smart. That's a fun idea right there. So if you're looking for ways in the future to kill the Western Metal Supply part, take a cue from Packers Dynasty here and use that Ivy look. Great idea. All right, sir. One of at least 5, right? New creators. That might be a record. Unless you're going back to when everybody was new who showed a stadium here. But all right. Great work. Look forward to seeing more from you soon. Packers Dynasty. As fun as it is to see some new blood in Studio 44, we're going to close out the video with 2 names that everyone in the Stadiumverse is familiar with. The first of which is our 2024 Stadium of the Year champion, Sandman Dan, who has Sin City Field for us to take a peek at. It's in Las Vegas, Nevada, altitude of 3,600 feet, built in 2025. Right field, plaza level seating with the wall dipping down to check out this big scoreboard right here. Very nice. Seats leaking around to the plaza level seating. I always like this blended in look. Very cool indeed. Hard Rock VIP deck on top of some luxury seating. I like the funky entrance to the Hard Rock Hotel, Sin City Field. Using the St. Louis Arch to kind of, I'm guessing, give you a retractable roof vibe. The Moonshot Casino Las Vegas. All right. This has a couple of casinos connected to the stadium. That's a cool idea. Yeah, why not each? Unless it's the, oh no, this is just the Hard Rock Hotel. Okay. But they both got that funky entrance. Very smart. Toit. Big, huge concourse out here in left. More stuff on the ground in left as well. Home run deck over this big wall next to the batter's eye, San Diego Padres batter's eye. Has kind of a desert look for his planters here in center field. All right, Dan. Now we're talking. Sneak in underneath, and you got the stake building, lining things up, palm trees and escalators, the old sand crawler building, Ferris wheel in the background, facing off the outside of the stadium with the tried and true modern blue office, which has been around since day one. That's kind of another funky, weird little wish list item from me. Some buildings that act as like Legos. You know what I mean? Like, he did a great job with kind of connecting these things together, but wouldn't it be cool if he had a couple more buildings that looked like you could just line them up, especially round ones, so you could face off the outside of stadiums better? But yeah, he did a great job using this building, which is kind of tough because, like I said, you got the part sticking up there and the bottom, whatever that concrete is, if that's supposed to be like the sidewalk leading up to the building, it makes it tough. But Dan pulled it off nicely. A lot going on in this stadium, that's for sure. He's got the big scoreboard facing this concourse so people can check it out as they're cruising around up there. Very fun. Oh, all he said is he wanted to keep the Moonshot Casino franchise going, so he created one in Las Vegas himself. All right. Well, Dan, thanks for the nod with the Moonshot Casino. For those new to the channel, the ballpark at the Moonshot Casino is my home stadium. It's kind of my stadium that I recreated over and over again until 23 when you can carry it over. But then I added new props and standing room only people and had to bring anomalies in and out when they were killed off. But yeah. So there it is, fellas. Sin City Field from Sandman Dan. As promised, closing out this video with familiar name 2 of 2. This is Boardwalk Field in Santa Monica, California. It has an altitude of 2 feet, built 1976. That familiar name is one whose heart I'm broken for, our good buddy Obituary Turtle, or Mark Stevens, as you may see him in the premieres and live streams. An A's fan whose team was just ripped from his clutches. Blech. Wow, look at this. This is awesome. Again, like he said, boardwalk with a wooden concourse behind the bleachers. And then above that, more bleachers built right into the hill. Excellent. Then you got the deck, and I love the bleachers underneath the scoreboard. Fantastic. I never noticed that before, that it says high energy baseball there. Cool. And then another deck on the other side. People are hanging out up there. And then there's the boardwalk. Takes you right out to the party pier. Docks out here with some sailboats and the tram going all the way down the boardwalk. Fantastic. Lighthouse. Boats. Mark? I don't see any canoes, buddy. What gives, sir? I do like the pond out here, or maybe it's a pool built for the stadium with a fountain right in the middle on the rocks. That's awesome. Left field, you have more bleachers with the boardwalk and then concessions built right in. That's a great idea. And then bleachers on top of that. And then you got the deck coming out for the different steamships that are coming in. Concessions lining the boardwalk. That's fun too. Picnic tables out there. Yeah, he said it was a smaller build, that he kind of ran out of room for the outside. Clearly a minor league look with the luxury seats. Again, nice job finding a way to hide that weird, awkward building that they give us with the minor league seating, using the staircase underneath as well, the arches of the staircase. Fantastic. Turn them lights on. Looks very, very nice. And as always, it's fantastic when we can close out a video with a stamp. Wow, guys, I'm blown away. Like I said, I posted last night at like 1:30 in the morning. I was so excited to see all these stadiums. They were so good. So I hopped on Discord. I hopped on my Facebook page, and I hopped on the channel to post my excitement. So thank you so much for sending all these stadiums. Thank you so much for the newcomers to the channel for joining and getting in on the love. Please, those of you who I call legends or familiar faces, send those guys your feedback. Let them know. Don't have to hear from just me. As I've said before and admitted before, I don't think I have the most popular taste in stadiums in the world. So the more feedback these guys get, the bigger the community is going to grow and more fantastic stadiums we're going to have to play around with. So that's about a wrap on this video, guys. So you know what to do. If you have a stadium to check out here in Studio 44, follow the link from my Facebook page. Follow the link here on my YouTube channel or in the description of this video, and fill out the Google form. Make some notes. Tell me if there's any targets to check out. And like I said, we'll get your stadium shown right here on Studio 44. Don't be shy. It doesn't have to be the best stadium in the world. Until I get completely overwhelmed with requests, I plan on showing every stadium I can. So send them my way. You'll get positive feedback, constructive criticism. So join us. The premieres especially are a lot of fun. Another thing I want you guys to join me in is the premiere of Nonsense Matters, the new podcast with just me and my brother Mark. Jaden kind of had to step away from Respect the Pick because of college commitments. We plan on having him in as much as we can via Zoom meeting connection or collab cam connection, whatever we call it. But yeah, we're very excited for it. We are going to premiere Thursday, May 8th, right here live on YouTube. And then eventually, once we get, the technology figured out, which we have famously handled very well in the past, hopefully we can get on Twitch as well. And then, of course, once we're live, we'll keep the episodes up for you guys to check out if you can't make it live. But we want this to be more of a interactive thing. We don't want just comments. We don't want, that kind of thing. We want you guys to call in. So that's a big reason we're doing this live. We're going to shoot for at least once a week. Hopefully Thursdays and a bunch of Fridays we can get on here and show you some entertainment. It's just, like it says, just us talking about nonsense, things that aren't really important, but important to us. It kind of has, the two meanings for the name, Nonsense Matters. We're talking about matters that are nonsense, and to me, the nonsense matters. Just a lot of these stupid little things that just have a special place in my heart and my brother's heart. The Yankees and all of our Star Wars movies, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and just all these other things that we've loved and cherished our whole lives growing up and into our adulthood, and just seeing so many younger generations have all these podcasts. We thought it would be fun to have a Gen X take on some newer pop culture, and of course the stuff that we loved so much, growing up with. So yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to have like trivia contests and do our top 10 list like we have our top 11 list, maybe like we did with respect to pick. We'll have to see about that. And then, of course, we'll throw up shorts eventually on TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. So yeah, should be a lot of fun. So hopefully we can see you guys there. We'll probably be on in the afternoon. So if you have one of those jobs where you can have some background noise while you're working, tune into us on YouTube. And then eventually we want to get back into that podcast format again where it's just all audio. But unfortunately, those probably won't be able to do live. Yeah, there it is. I've rambled on enough about that. So don't forget to send me new stadiums. Don't forget to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Every subscription helps. I'm dying to get to that 1,000 mark. Like the video if you did, in fact, like the video. And be on the lookout for more content coming very, very soon.